Hey friends, you're listening to This Quote Changed My Life, a podcast about inspired action. My name is Tracey and I'm the host of the show. Welcome back for episode 72. I'm so grateful for you being here for me and sharing the episodes, subscribing. Hello to the first time listeners. Oh, if this is your first time, hello. Let me introduce myself. My name is Tracey. I am a wellness coach and a creative arts therapist based in Sydney, Australia. I'm also a mum of 3 kids, and I often describe myself as a roller coaster because I'm very up and down. But I know I am. I really love mindfulness and I love mindset, and this podcast was created so that I could share these quotes with you that I found that have really made a difference in my life or are currently making a difference in my life. And I know that 72 episodes in means about 70 quotes that I've shared with you guys so far. And how can any one person love 70 quotes? Well, you found her. It's me. I just love the idea of finding quotes and words to inspire us into action. And that's the most important part of the whole podcast of life, is putting these thoughts into action, not just manifesting something and not just having a pretty picture on your phone that you look at once and you forget, or listening to this podcast once and then you forget me. Please don't forget me. But actually taking that inspiration and putting it into action into your life. So making things happen. And I hope that this podcast helps you do that a little. And, you're not going to like every 70 episodes or future 70 episodes that I do, but I hope there is one quote that really, really inspires you and makes you think, oh yeah, this is the direction I'm going to go in for the next week, the next month, the next 3 months, the next year. And create something beautiful in your life, because we all deserve something amazing, and I think you're worth it. So I hope you find something on the podcast that you like. So thank you for joining me. And for everybody that is a returning listener, hello, thank you so much. I hope that you're all happy and healthy, or you're on your way to being happy and healthy. It's tough out there, you guys. I'm not doing the video because I know my limits at the moment, and my energy levels are not great. I have chronic issues with my ferritin, which is like iron related. So I'm having that sorted out. And I just didn't want to be on camera, to be honest, but I still wanted to record a podcast. So here I am recording a podcast with you because I've got a quote that is changing my life. And I don't say that lightly. The quote today is, I don't know, and I'm not going to know. And if you've listened back on the podcast, you know that I have had troubles with my anxiety disorder for most of my life. I just turned 41. I think I probably had anxiety before I was 10. So, 30 years of anxiety. It's not fun, but I'm learning so much, especially in the last 5 years, about it and about myself. And recently, and I'm not going to go into it too much, I have discovered that I have a form of OCD, and that's been really eye-opening. And to have been able to talk to therapists that are trained in OCD has really helped me understand myself a little bit better. This quote, I don't know and I'm not going to know, is one that I carry with me every minute of the day, and especially when I need it the most, because I think with disorders like anxiety and with OCD, we tend to look too forward into the future, whether that's the next hour, the next day, the next week, the next year. For me, I can't speak for everybody. For me, I'm a planner, and planning usually comes my anxiety. I like to write things down. I like to be visualizing and writing, like making dream boards and just having things planned out. I like to be spontaneous a lot too. I think that's a lot of fun, but I can't always be that way with everything. And just writing things down and keeping a diary and keeping a journal does help. But I think that also at the same time, we can't plan everything and we won't know everything. especially when that planning becomes problematic and you find yourself planning every single thing. And I'm not going to go into it because I don't want this to be triggering for anybody that might be experiencing the same issues, but you'll understand what I mean when I say that it seeps into every bit of your life, and before you know it, you are trapped under the I guess it's the routine and the structure of checking things all the time and making sure and being certain about everything. So thinking about this quote, I don't know and I'm not going to know, is, I guess, a reminder that we are not living in the present. We're not being mindful. We're not thinking about who we are right now and what we're doing right now and the enjoyment we should be having right now, or the not so enjoyment in the moment. But letting ourselves be okay with who we are and what we're doing at that moment is okay. We don't know everything. No one in the world can predict what's going to happen next. I think that, yes, okay, there are things that we do out of habit, and you're going to get the same result if you keep doing things. But it can change at any time, right? Anything can happen, and we need to be okay with that. We need to be okay that we are always going to be evolving and changing. That's what we do as humans. Humans are designed to change. We're designed to grow and learn as we go. And not knowing is one of those things. I don't know and I'm not going to know. And I hope that this quote kind of inspires you in your own life, especially if you do go through these challenges, like I've described, that you're okay. No matter what happens and no matter what pops up in your life, you can handle it because you've probably handled it before, and that's why you've got this anxiety and this OCD and this protection around yourself, because you've gone through it before. And guess what? You survived. You're still here. You're still listening to this podcast. You're still breathing. You can walk outside and see the sunlight, and you can get fresh air, and you can go to school or go to work, and you can have breakfast with your kids or your partner, and you're still here. You've handled it. You don't need to worry about handling it continuously anymore. If it happens again, it happens again, but that's when you decide to do the things that keep you safe and healthy. But right now, you're safe. There's no need to check or to be sure, because you've got this. People around you will support you. And if you don't have that much support around you, you've got yourself. You've got this. You don't know and you're not going to know. I don't know and I'm not going to know. But what are we going to do right in this moment that will make us take stock of what we're doing right now, keep us mindful in our lives, and make us take a deep breath and be grateful for what we have right now? For those who need it, the homework this week is to really catch yourself in those moments where you are overthinking, over planning, trying to predict and to keep yourself safe. And sometimes that's in the form of Googling things too much. You might know what that feels like. Asking maybe one too many questions than you should. It might come in the form of buying too much on Amazon, and that's that's something that I'm struggling with, or I've struggled with in the past. It's not just Amazon where you are able to get things in an instant because you think that will make you feel better or keep you safe, or that you might need it in the future. That's probably a whole other episode that I'm not qualified to talk about, but you catch yourself in these moments where you're like, oh, I better do this because it will help me in the future, maybe, or I might need this in the future, or they might want this in the future, or I better do this so this stops in the future. Catch yourself at least once doing that, and tell yourself that you don't know whether you're going to need that or that's going to happen, and you're not going to know. Nothing's set in stone in life. Things change in an instant. So if you can keep yourself grounded in the moment, stay mindful and stay grateful for everything that you have, I think that would be a relief to a lot of us, right? And I hope that this quote sits in the back of your mind for any time that you feel like you need it. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast this week, episode 72. I'm so excited. I'll be back next week with a new quote for you. And thank you again. If you're joining me for the first time, you can find me on Instagram under @MakeSunshineCo. You can search for me on YouTube under This Quote Changed My Life or Make Sunshine. I do have an Etsy store as well. If you'd like to look at some mindfulness and mindset worksheets, I'll leave a link in the show notes. But I really hope that you have a good day. It doesn't have to be a great day or a bad day, but just have a good day and you stay mindful and be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself no matter what you're going through now. I hope that you stay kind to yourself. Thank you so much, and I will speak to you next week. Bye.